The following film contains information provided by the National Transportation Safety Board, a government agency regulated and tasked to investigate transportation accidents consisting of marine, aviation, railway, highway, and pipeline. When an investigation has been determined to be of a criminal nature, the Federal Bureau of Investigation has jurisdiction and may task the NTSB to provide expert analysis. The NTSB has produced and provided information based on what the agency claims to be the flight data recorder black box from American Airlines Flight 77 in terms of a comma-separated values file, an Excel file, and full flight animation. The information has been provided to the public through the Freedom of Information Act, and this film shows factual interpretation of that information. The film also contains unlicensed footage from CBS, NBC, ABC, CNN, Fox News, the History Channel, and News World, and does not necessarily agree with the views of this film regarding questioning the government's story based on the facts. At this time, pilotsfor911truth.org does not offer theory or place blame regarding the events surrounding September 11, 2001. In this film, we will show you possibilities based on the facts in order for you to make a more informed decision. Our goal is to call for a new, unimpeded, adequately financed, and truly nonpartisan independent investigation into the attacks of that fateful day. A real one this time. We hold the 9/11 victims and those directly affected in the absolute highest regard. May they rest in peace, and may Americans better understand the irrational surrendering of our freedoms in the name of security as fellow American soldiers overseas put themselves in position to make the ultimate sacrifice in the name of preserving those very same freedoms. We thank you for taking the time to inform yourself.
And American 77 is ready.
American 77, Dulles Tower, runway 30, taxi in position. You're holding for landing traffic, port left, and you need to be 15 and trail at DC-10.
Position on hold 30, American 77.
American 77, your departure frequency will be 125.05, runway 30, clear for takeoff.
2505, clear for takeoff, runway 30, American 77.
Behind the attacks. Now, the American-led war on terror is based on the premise that Osama bin Laden planned the 9/11 attacks that killed, as Carol was just saying, almost 3,000 people. But there is a growing movement of scholars, filmmakers, and activists and members of the public who are looking more closely at the events of that fateful day And they're claiming there's another, more sinister explanation.
Official story about 9/11 is a gigantic conspiracy theory that 19 Arab Muslims, under the guidance of Osama bin Laden, defeated the world's most sophisticated military defense system, and also, in bringing down the World Trade Center, defeated many of the basic laws of physics. So that is the basic conspiracy theory, and what we in the movement are doing is challenging that conspiracy theory.
David Ray Griffin is the leading critic of the official story of 9/11. He's a professor of theology at Claremont School of Theology and the author of several controversial books outlining his beliefs, books that have now sold more than 100,000 copies.
According to some estimates, we cannot track $2.3 trillion in transactions.
$2.3 trillion with a T. That's $8,000 for every man, woman, and child in America. But the next day, the world changed. And in the rush to fund the war on terrorism, the war on waste seems to have been forgotten. To understand how the Pentagon can lose track of trillions, consider the case of one military accountant who tried to find out what happened to a mere $300 million.
We know it's gone, but we don't know what they spent it on.
Jim Minery, a former Marine turned whistleblower, is risking his job by speaking out for the first time about the millions he noticed were missing.
They got to cover it up.
And that might just be an understatement, Jim. The next day, September 11, 2001, the area at the Pentagon that was heavily destroyed also housed the civilian accountants, bookkeepers, and budget analysts that would have investigated the missing funds, including all the computers that had all the information.
My second question, Mr. Secretary, according to the Comptroller General of the United States, there are serious financial management problems at the Pentagon, to which Mr. Cooper alluded. Fiscal year 1999, $2.3 trillion missing. Fiscal year 2000, $1.1 trillion missing. And DOD is the #1 reason why the government can't balance its checkbook. Finally, Mr. Secretary, after the last hearing, I thought that my office was promised a written response to my question regarding the 4 war games on September 11th. I have not yet received that response, but would like for you to respond to the questions that I've put to you today, and then I do expect the written response to my previous question, hopefully by the end of the week. If you could proceed to my second question, please.
The second question, I've forgotten what the second question was.
I think Ms. Jonas knows it.
Okay.
Thank you, Ms. McKinney. I appreciate the question. I appreciate your interest in our department's financial condition, and we are working very hard on that program. I've just come back recently.
I understand that you're working hard on it, but my question was, who has the contract? How long have they had that contract, and how much money have we spent on it?
In general, we spend about $20 billion in the Department on Information Technology Systems. The accounting systems are part of that. I can get you the exact number for the record of what we spend on our current, what we call legacy systems, and those that we're moving toward.
And who has the contract?
That would be a multitude of individuals.
Could you name some, please?
Well, I think off the top of my head, well, I would rather not. I'd rather provide that for the record.
That's not privileged information, is it?
I'm sure it's not.
Well, please. And we still have time, so please.
I would be glad to provide for the record. I don't want to talk from the top of my head and be incorrect.
They got to cover it up.
What we need is a genuine investigation. We have more of a criminal investigation if the local 7 and 11 is robbed.
Even Lee Hamilton, the co-chair of the 9/11 Commission itself, admits to us that the process he headed up was seriously flawed.
So there are all kinds of reasons. We thought we were set up to fail. We got started late. We had a very short time frame. Indeed, we had to get it extended. We did not have enough money. They were afraid we were going to hang somebody, that we would point the finger.
Is one of the reasons why these guys aren't getting funded and it's so late is that someone's got